Good morning. It's Thursday, the 28th of May, 2026, and there is so much going on behind the scenes, but very little being talked about in public. The first thing I want to bring to your attention is the price of crude oil, which has dropped down to around $90 a barrel from about 110, and yet the pump prices haven't dropped at all. And they're talking about the price of oil going up, which shows that very few people actually do their research to find out if what they're saying is accurate or not. The moment they said that the fuel prices were going up, I started looking and hang on, the prices are coming down. But there's a tendency just to believe what people say without doing your research. It doesn't take a lot of research. I've currently got my daughter over here staying in Spain, and she has insisted that diesel prices have always been more expensive than petrol or gasoline. Well, I know more about that than most people. To actually refine crude oil, it costs more to generate gasoline or petrol than it does diesel. There's a step ladder, if you like, of products. And petrol has always been more expensive to refine than diesel. But diesel costs more at the pump. And the reason is quite simple. It's because they talked you into buying diesel cars. And there's more people using diesel than there are petrol. So they simply put the price up. It's time for people to do their own research and stop believing everything they're told. Because this is what got us into trouble with COVID, with the vaccinations, with 5G. The minute you start digging a little bit deeper, you find out very, very quickly that what you've been told is a lie. Morning, Drew.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone. Going into my first story, Spain's ruling PSOE party is facing major corruption investigations after the civil guard reportedly raided its national headquarters over alleged illegal financing, bribery, slush funds, and kickback schemes. Meanwhile, in the United States, a former senior CIA officer has reportedly been arrested over an alleged fraud scheme involving more than 300 gold bars worth around $40 million, with investigators claiming operational funds were secretly diverted and hidden along millions in cash at his home. Two separate investigations, but many are now asking the same question. How deep does the corruption really go inside governments and powerful institutions worldwide?
Well, Pedro Sanchez has been the ruling party here in Spain for many, many years. He's a socialist, and this is all, and his offices were raided. You're absolutely correct this week. There's been so much fraud that has been going on, and yes, they've been buying physical gold with their corrupt monies, because if they put the money through the banking system, of course, everyone can see it. And this is where they have been what they thought was being clever buying gold, but of course, that's all been tracked as well. They thought they'd get away with it, and they won't. It's very interesting also for those people who've been watching over the past 10 years, how climate change has vanished overnight, ever since they needed the data centers. The data centers have cured climate change. All of a sudden, this is time for people to realize how corrupt these people really are. We've seen how things change overnight and things just suddenly don't matter anymore. And there's none more so than the data centers that they're pushing out there. And the amount of damage that technically can do to the environment, because of the amount of water that they need for these data centers, is off the scale. So do your own research. And then you'll find out that what you've been told is a blatant lie. It's misinformation, disinformation, malinformation, or in Charlie's word, it's bullshit. True.
Next up, Trump says he's not comfortable with Russia or China getting hold of Iran's highly enriched uranium. In other words, no one's touching my uranium. Middle East tensions are rising, nuclear talks continue, and suddenly everyone wants shiny glowing rocks. Sounds like Trump doesn't want to share the toys in the sandbox.
It's very interesting, isn't it, how it comes across there, because obviously China and Russia have been working very closely behind the scenes, quietly, with Iran for many, many years. And what Trump is actually doing, forget about what they tell you he's doing, is dismantling a system that was put in place by the Bushes, the Obamas, the Clintons, and the Bidens to destabilize Iran. And they installed terrorist cells to do exactly this for a number of reasons. Number one was that Iran wouldn't comply with the Rothschild banking system. Number two, it's got an abundance of natural resources, which China and Russia are already in there negotiating a deal. The difference is that Russia and China negotiate a deal with them so that all parties win. America, not America, but the United States Corporation don't go and negotiate with these people. They install terrorist cells and literally bomb the shit out of them to get their own way. Well, those days are over. If you want to steal somebody's assets, you can't do it anymore. You can't do it with sanctions. You can't do it with embargoes. You can't do it with all this bullying tactics that the US has used for many, many years, because the bully is now being bullied and the world is changing. The playing field is being leveled. My final story is very interesting. We're watching the RINOs. These are the Republican senators that are, and congressmen that have been Republican in name only. They were installed to cause trouble. They're being dismantled. They're being removed. The US is heading to the midterms. All of these corrupt people will be removed in the midterms. This is all part of the plan, all part of the agenda. The Democrats will be completely destroyed in the midterms. And then there'll be retribution. That was the news on Thursday, the 28th of May, 2026. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.
So if you want to know the truth, come to charlieward.com and see real news daily. And join the Insiders Club, which is live on Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Hi guys, it's Charlie here. If you're looking to protect your future with gold or silver, pick the region you're in and choose one of our trusted partners.